All right, the first player that I want to talk about here, bring to the list, is Ladd McConkey. And Ladd McConkey has had a good couple of weeks, a good season overall, I'll just say that, but a good couple of weeks in particular. This past week was his best. So he had 117 receiving yards for the Los Angeles Chargers. They only had 147 yards passing. The man had 117 of Justin Herbert's 147 yards passing in this game. He was the entire offense. The next closest player to McConkey's 117 receiving yards was Quentin Johnston, who had 12. 46.2 threat percentage for Ladd McConkey. He was the ninth receiver taken. I'll list off all the receivers that were taken above him in the 2024 NFL draft. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas Jr. Those are sort of the obvious expected, probably the first four that we had off the board, those first rounders there. But then in the first round, we still had Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, Xavier Legette, Keon Coleman then at the beginning of the second round, and then Ladd McConkey as wide receiver 9. And I can understand why, right? I mean, when you look at Ladd McConkey, yes, a very productive receiver when he was at Georgia, but 28th percentile in height, 17th percentile in weight, 9th percentile wingspan, 10th percentile in arm length, and 6th percentile in hand size. He's a small dude. I mean, I don't think this is like overly insulting in any way, shape, or form, but like, Ladd McConkey looks like me out there. If I were to put on NFL pads and NFL helmet, and I would look like Ladd McConkey. I would look like I did not belong out there. And yet this dude is not only showing that he belongs when the ball is snapped. That's where things get very different between Ladd McConkey and myself once the ball gets snapped. Might be able to look the part pre-snap, but certainly can't look the part post-snap. John, it's the quickness, though. That is, we talked about how great Ladd McConkey is when he was at Georgia. We talked about this at the Senior Bowl as well. I remember day one of the Senior Bowl last year. You know how they do the one-on-ones, and the one-on-ones are obviously a lot of fun. Everybody brings their phone out when the one-on-ones are going on, specifically with wide receivers and corners, because they want to tweet out the practice clips and they want to have all that stuff out. You could tell the corners on the other team, nobody in the rotation wanted to go up against Ladd McConkey because they were like, we're gonna get cooked. I'm gonna get cooked on social media. My friends and family and these fans they're gonna show me getting cooked by Ladd McConkey because he's too quick. I can't cover him one-on-one with the whole field, no safety help, no defensive help. And that is what ended up happening in the first day. But you see that translate to the field, especially on days like the one that they played this past week against the Atlanta Falcons. It's not just the fact that Ladd McConkey's separation scores are high, in my opinion. It's the fact that he separates almost immediately. The quickness, the foot quickness that he has, and the short area acceleration. I mean, this guy is winning and creating separation immediately out of a route and immediately when he gets out of his releases. And that gives a quarterback like Justin Herbert so much confidence because he'll hike the ball. He could glance over at McConkey, and McConkey's basically like already winning the route. And he almost may have time to sort of like look in his peripheral, like, okay, did the safeties move a certain way? Did the linebackers move a certain way? Should I look to a different receiver? Because I know I have McConkey. Like, McConkey's going to be open. He's already gotten open. So it's that sort of confidence to where he lets his quarterback know so quickly in the route, hey, you can throw me the ball and I'm going to be open. We're good to go here. That's how you get to a 46.2 threat percentage in the offense. 50% of the throws are going your way. More than, like 80% of the receiving yards are going your way. It's when you have the ability to win so quickly. And it felt like he was the most obvious scouting report in the world. And it's manifesting right here in this week and other weeks that we have seen so far this season. So McConkey's been exactly what we thought he was going to be. And that's a really dang good wide receiver at the NFL level.
I honestly wonder, Trevor, for watching the start of a pretty special career. That's the impression I get when I watch him. Like, I don't think, because guys that you're not as sure about that with are guys that win sort of like one way right now. And that way can be amazing, and explosive and exciting and all those things. But McConkey really has all of those sorts of traits, and then also the nuance of a veteran. And he's going to have if he stays healthy here, he's close to already 1,000-yard season as a rookie. That's not very common in and of itself. And then if you look at the advanced numbers, I mean, it's just like remarkable what he's doing right now this season. He's already forced 10 missed tackles this season. This is supposed to be like not even the area that we like feel confident in him in. He's 11 of 19 in contested catch situations. Yes. And you mentioned his dimensions. This is not a big guy, like, but his ball skills are exceptional. His hand strength is exceptional. Oh, by the way, he's averaging 2.38 yards per route run. So, I mean, everything you want from a player, he does. And he can play inside or outside, and he can beat press coverage. I mean, the Falcons had no answer for him when they were in zone. So they put A.J. Terrell on him, and they go man coverage, and he beats A.J. Terrell off the line of scrimmage. It's just, I don't know how you stop him. He's like looking like that kind of player this year. And slowly the Chargers have realized that throughout the season, and they are running a ton of their offense. He is first in the progression all the time in that offense because they know how dynamic he can be at any level of the field. So to see that as a rookie, his size is the thing that gives you some level of hesitation, but it just hasn't shown up as an issue on tape. And teams are trying to do everything they can to take him away. And for the past 2 months, really, it's just been, I mean, he has been completely dominant in an offense that honestly has become more of a pass-heavy offense, become more of an air-it-out offense. But for a while, like especially to start the season, they were not even really trying to air the ball. They were trying to ground and pound and old school Greg Roman. And now it is just like, this guy is so good. We've got one of them ones, as they say. And I think they're trying to change what they do to be able to account for that. That's a difference-making player as a rookie. So he should be in these Rookie of the Year conversations for sure. You know, obviously there's some really good candidates this year, but there's a real strong case to be made, especially since the injuries Neighbors has dealt with, that Ladd McConkey's been the best rookie wide receiver this season. I think I would make that case. And you go back to his college evaluation, you said it's like a no-brainer evaluation. In some ways, based on what we could see on tape, that was true. But because Georgia threw the ball to him so little, it made it really hard, like to be like, oh, we trust this small sample size. We don't see him in a lot of tough catch situations. Like
Right.
You go back to, to 2022 season, I think you saw a little bit more of that, but it still was, I mean, he never had more than 700 some yards in a season in college. Like it just was never a focal point of an offense. He just, how is all this going to work at that level at his size? I think we're all fair questions to have. He's just completely answered those in the this is no concern area very, very well. So I think you have to be extremely excited about the outlook with him and where he's at currently. I mean, he's legitimately putting together a season that could be considered for Pro Bowl, All-Pro type of honors.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way to put it. The things that we knew he did well, we're seeing at the NFL level, but we did not see a lot of it. And the strength stuff, they use him as the X. Like, they use him as the X on the outside, on the line of scrimmage. They'll have him in contested catch situations. So, I should say, his scouting report, a lot of the things that we saw of him at Georgia, they're translating to the NFL, and there's even more things that he is doing well. So I think it's a good way that you put it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below. So if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can become one today.